2 reviews now on him.
Yeah, batting out of the crease, and as a result, Bharat has been brought up to the stumps. You don't see that often on a first day pitch in Test cricket, one that is as green and with such inconsistent bounce, but it is to try and get Labuschagne stuck on that crease to see if a nick or an LBW is possible.
He seems that kind of player, so he'll review everything. He just likes batting. And again, the application first class today. He's left a lot of balls. Just covers that off stump well. Knows which one to leave.
He's quite compact, isn't he? He's very, very controlled with his hands, and he knows exactly where his scoring areas are.
Now Bharat standing up, forcing Labuschagne to get back into the crease.
The side screen. I was the same. I used to hate anything in front of the side screen here in England. A lot of grounds, you have people sitting in front at Lord's, at Nottingham. Were you the same, haters? You wanted an absolute clear side screen?
Yeah, the worst. It's been now changed, but it was Old Trafford. And the boxes were directly behind, and they had that silver lining on the boxes. But of course, what happened is people would come in and out, flowing out like honeybees out of the box. And that was always a breakdown in play.
Nothing would annoy Sachin Tendulkar more. Oh, he would see even an ant on top of the side screen. 62 for 1.
अभी चंडीगढ़ में होते ना तो अपने हलवाई से गुलाब जामुन और रसगुल्ले मंगा के सबका मुंह मीठा करा देती, पर यहाँ अमेरिका में वही एप्पल पाई, पुडिंग और डोनट। यहाँ की मिठाइयों में क्या जी? हाँ, पाई और डोनट, गुलाब जामुन, रसगुल्ले यहाँ।
बरसों से प्यार जताने का तरीका, Haldiram's.
Small businesses are taking on what's next. Biz2 Credit gives you the funding that makes it all possible. So keep on doing what you're doing, you masters of what's next. We'll be right with you every step of the way. Biz2 Credit, funding what's next.
All the 4 fast bowlers that India has played have been given a spell. I just feel that perhaps it's actually delaying Shami and perhaps Siraj into a second spell for too long. It's the first day of a test match. The pitch is green. It has offered enough assistance for the fast bowlers. But the premier two, Shami and Siraj, who bowl the right lines, have the most movement, the best seam positions, have just bowled a spell each.
That's why I believe in that first hour of play, one of them should have bowled a shorter spell, so that he could have come back for another good 4-over spell, 3-over spell before lunch.
When you are planning for Australia, you really target one of the openers, Labuschagne and Smith. That's got to be your absolute kind of focus in terms of breaking into that middle order. And if you want to do that, you want your best bowlers bowling at them, breaking into that lineup early. The more you postpone it, the better sighters the batters have. And especially with Warner in this mood, could be a lot of runs, especially in the post-lunch session.
Especially if the conditions stay the way they are now. It's a glorious day, and it's been very typical actually of the last week here in England. It's been this leaden sky in the morning, quite fresh, quite a lot of wind as you see there. But then as the afternoon goes on, the handkerchiefs start coming out on the heads of the locals. Gets sunny all of a sudden and stays that way all afternoon.
Perth, Brisbane, what will happen?
Well, that's the watermelons that are cut out. I can't believe batting now. This is just premium. You've gone through all the hard yakka here. 20 overs in. Ball coming onto the bat. One world-class spinner down. Good toss to win, good toss to lose, eh?
I think it might turn out to be a good toss to lose, really. It's a tough one, isn't it? You look at the pitch and then you think, oh, we sometimes get carried away and not think that this is going to change over 5 days. How do you really stack up to the 5 days? The Indian pace bowling stocks have been brilliant over the last 3 to 4 years. They have been very skillful, but the spinners have been equally so.
That's what. Just drifting onto the pads. Labuschagne has been there long enough to deal with that. 67 for 1.
Hiring is step one when it comes to our growth. We can't open a new shop or a new location without the right people in place. I couldn't keep up until I found ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter helps us get out there quickly and get us qualified candidates quickly. They sent us applicants that matched what I was looking for. I've hired for every role: entry-level technicians, service advisors, store managers. ZipRecruiter helps me find all the right people, even the most difficult jobs to fill.
ZipRecruiter, rated the #1 hiring site. Try it for free at ZipRecruiter.com/Willow.
That he bowls, it actually allows the batters a little bit of a better sighter. I would actually like him to bowl maybe 3 over spells, perhaps as an enforcer, allow the others to really settle in and bowl the line and length. Get Umesh in, understand that he's going to be expensive, set a better field for him, give him a little bit more cover, but then ask him to bowl at full pace would probably be a better option, especially against Labuschagne and Warner, to try and get wickets. Try and think of the short ball a little bit more with him.
I think he's lacked rhythm today, Umesh Yadav. Here's Shardul Thakur. Oh, there you go, Haters.
Yeah, not the boxing kangaroo, but it'll do. He's making his mark. He's a long way from home, mind you. 22 hours of flying. But there's very few in the crowd. But they're going to be loud. This afternoon wears on. They don't see too many wickets. They're going to be extremely vocal.
Oh, lovely shot. That's beautifully played by Warner.
We talked about how committed and decisive David Warner has been. Not a huge stride down the pitch, but you don't need to when you're in such a good position with your head. Enough room for the bat and the hands to come through the line of the